Alright, starting part 2 now. Make sure everything is nice and straight here. Hold on, you may see a few adjustments. That's a little too far. There we go. Keep things pretty centered. There we go. Alright. Actually, I can use her helmet to help me center it a little more. There we go. Don't mind me. Just getting started up. Okay. Use the icons. Okay. That seems good for now. Here we go. Part 2. Where we left off. There we go. Get my bearings back. Alright. Back in Chozo Ruins. Hi, Numa. How's it going, kid? You're catching me right as I'm playing. Let's see, what room are we in right now? Okay. Let me re-catch up with where I was. There we go. Alright. Right now, Numa is all over me, trying to get my attention. She's got her tail all over me. There you go, kitten. Get pet. Get pet. There you go. There you go. Here, sit on my lap. Sit on my lap. Ow! 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 Those nails of yours. I'll have to trim those later. Okay. Okay. So, since last time we started the game, I found that save point. Numa has elected to be my lap cat while I play video games today. I love you too. I love you. Here, I'll pet you. I'll pet you a little more. There you go. Dedicated petting. Oh. Oh, 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 you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Ow. Ow. Nails. Watch your nails. There you go. There you go. You're gonna fall over. Oh, I love you too. This doesn't make for a consistent viewing experience, Numa. I love you. Unless it's very consistent that I take pauses to pet you. In which case it's very consistent. There you go. There you go. I love you too. Oh, I need to check what time it is. Okay, it's that time. 1 hour from now. Alright. Starting now. So, since the last time I was playing Metroid Prime, Tentacle. I finished... I finished watching through Resident Evil 9, and, well, all in all, I would say that what I thought, want to give some thoughts on it, but what I thought was that the first act of the game was pretty solid and consistent. It was like fun, had a really good tone. I talked about this before. It had like really fun set pieces. It was a little over the top. You had the... Ow. You had the new strain of like T-virus, which sort of like kept the personalities of the some habits and personalities of the people intact, so that it was a little okay. It was a little fun and over the top with some of the stuff that they would say when you get near them. But then, as the game progressed, it seemed to evolve. The game seemed to evolve backwards and became less cool as it went along, which was really disappointing. As Resident Evil 9 went along, it became less interesting and less fun and less consistent. So, like, you go through the first act and you're swapping between Grace, you're swapping between Leon, you're going through like this hospital area. There are these people with like different occupations, and the way the virus infects them, it like interacts with their personality, and so you get like a lot of variety. Like you get the singer, you get the butcher, you get the chunks, who are like the big, pretty much invincible ones, and you get the one that was like Emily's like housemate, like roommate essentially, who got turned into like the big monster that roams around and is weak to and is especially weak to light. But hold on just a sec, gotta find the last room. Ah, there it is. There we go. Whoa. It dropped. Okay. Just a second. This looks like the charge beam. Is this the charge beam? It is the charge beam. Okay.
Recording to logbook.
Disaster struck suddenly. We had a vague, dark foreboding. And it became truth. A meteor appeared from nowhere, casting... Oh, come on. Casting a dark shadow of debris over the land, with the violence of its impact. Its destructive force spent, the fallen star burned itself out rapidly, and the incident should have faded into memory. But the meteor brought with it a corruption. A great poison burst forth into the land, a strange energy that clawed at natural life with ferocity. That strange negative energy emitted from the meteor expanded to encompass Talon 4 in a night, as a spider weaves a web. Alright. Let's grab that charge beam. There we go. But what I was saying was, so the game started off like that. It started off with that nice back and forth. between... Oh, all three cats are on me now. It started off with that nice back and forth between Leon and Grace, going from the more action survival parts to the more, proper horror survival. Grace has her crafting system, Leon has his ammo. And then you get to the second half of the game, and it just, the second half, you get to the second act, and it just drops all of that. So you get to the second part, and it's just Leon now, pretty much. For a really long stretch of time. There's no more cut back and forth between him and Grace. There's not even... They don't even really do the whole, Leon, October something, much anymore. And as a result, the game becomes way less interesting. So, in the second act, they completely, drop the new unique strain of T-Virus. That's gone. Instead, you just get a bunch of generic rotting zombies with no personality, they're just enemies to... Ow. Hold on. You just get a bunch of generic rotting zombies, no personality. Even if they don't have occupations, they don't have, unique parts, unique dialogue. You don't even really get those special zombies anymore like you got in the first act of the game, in the hospital, the singer, butcher, all that. It's just kind of Leon wandering around this bombed out area. There's not really anything interesting going on inside of the buildings themselves. They're just kind of ruins. And hold on, what's this? And the zombies themselves start to get a lot more just copy-paste monster guys that you shoot with your gun, and they die. There we go. Yeah, more copy-paste monster guys that you shoot with your gun and then you die. And there's not even as many interesting set pieces to go around. There's that section where Leon's on the glass, on that sideways building, and there's a couple, level design-wise, they keep things a little interesting. It's not like the game gets bad. It just becomes way less cool. Yeah, the game doesn't become bad, it just becomes way less cool as it goes on, and so... I hear an item. Hold on. Where is that item? I hear it. Oh, man. Where is that? That must be it right there. Oh, how do I grab that? Hold on just a sec, I've been sidetracked. There is something up there. Oh. Hold on. What's this about? through the sandstone wall. Ah, man. Maybe I need a double jump for that. Okay, anyway. So there's like... When they had to have both Leon and Grace in the back and forth, it forced them to have to come up with interesting ways to contrast Leon with Grace. And so Grace got a lot more of these, like, set pieces, scary enemy types, interesting rooms, because it was necessary to differentiate her from being in the same area as Leon. Because, you know, you go through it as Leon, and he's got his guns, he's going to be shooting through all this stuff. He's not really going to be as intimidated by all these set pieces and parts, but when it's Grace, you know, they have to find things to put her through, because she's the scaredy cat, you know? Just checking this area, seeing if there's anything. Okay. She's the scaredy cat, you know, so they gotta put her through things. So when you're just playing as Leon, super tough, you know, action guy Leon, you suddenly start losing a lot of those interesting set pieces that help to sort of propel the first part of the game, because it melded with Leon's experience because it was cutting between him and Grace so much. So you were just fresh off of Leon, you get through a nice set piece with Grace, or a section, or a survival horror segment, then they give you back your agency and your power with Leon. You know, it had that back and forth, so it felt whole. It felt like a whole game. It felt whole, you know, like a whole game. But then...
Data received.
Oh, yeah? Pause. Oh. Yes, I know. Thank you. Okay. The Burn Dome. That's a funny name. Anyway, but like, yeah, so it's like a whole game, you know? They're balancing both sides of the experience by splitting it across Grace and Leon. But in the second part of the game, they stop for the most part. Like, there's only one more instance in the second half of the game where they do that again. And so it's just action guy Leon going through his, you know, action area. Oh, I remember you. No, I can't do anything yet. I don't have bombs. Yeah. Okay, can't do anything with you yet. Yeah, it's just action guy Leon going through his combat areas and things like that. I'm fairly certain I can use gyro to throw myself upward. Hold on just a sec. Controls. Combines the classic control scheme with motion controls for aiming. Play with controls based on the original GameCube. Classic control with motion controls. Oh man. Yeah, I've never used those controls before. Okay, just a sec. Let me turn that off. Let's see. Options, controls, dual stick. There we go. So yeah, it's Action Guy Leon just shooting generic zombies now. They're not even the... So they dropped the T-Virus strain that they introduced at the start of the game. That sort of gave it its unique voice and just replaced it with generic zombie guys. The set pieces are, for the most part, gone. And the few set pieces there are just, you know, basic kind of combat set pieces. The enemy variety was significantly reduced as well. Oh, hold on just a sec. A flamethrower. Ow. 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 Okay. Which way are we going? Just a sec. I'm getting better at talking during gameplay, but currently I'm not too good at doing it in the middle of boss fights. Yeah, I mean, a little bit to warm up. Ah, jeez. There we go. The Chozo just built a flamethrower. What is the explanation for this?
Recording to logbook.
Ah, I see. Okay. There we go, got the bounce back. Whee! And another thing that they got rid of that I really liked is the whole... Well, because it's Leon, you know, he needs the Requiem. So the whole aspect of having the one-hit kill item that you have to preserve ammo on, well, that's pretty much gone because you're not playing as Grace anymore. So that aspect is, you know, disappeared, which is disappointing. And it just kind of, and also like the villain as well. You start out with Victor Gideon, and before he really gets a chance to grow into anything, he gets replaced with boring Wesker clone, who's just kind of, you know, he's bad. He's definitely bad. But, you know, he doesn't really do much. You pretty much get his whole shtick from the first second you lay eyes on him. Huh? And you don't really get to know Gideon much, Victor Gideon, And then later you have that motorcycle chase with him where he essentially just exits the game until the final boss. So that's pretty dull. Come on, you can do it. Come on, there you go. Alright. And in the second act, you get like the generic zombies who have no personality, no occupation, things like that. And then you get like the soldier guy zombies, which, you know, they're also pretty much just repeats, except they have guns now. And you also get... Oh, I forgot about you. There we go. And then you get to the third act, where you're in Umbrella. The Umbrella, like, secret facility, and that was just, like, that's where I was finally, like, You get two, in the Umbrella facility, you get 2 enemy types now. Just 2. At least in Raccoon City out there, you got the monster plants. You get the soldier guys, and you get the generic zombies with no personality. Ah, jeez, I wasn't paying attention. No! Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let it restart. You know what? I'll finish with this thought while I let it restart. So you get the generic soldier guys, zombies with no personality, you get the plants. And then by the time you get to the third area, the third act, you have generic pale zombies who now actually don't really look noticeably different. If they are different from each other, it's not very noticeable. They're essentially just repeat pale zombies. At least with the Raccoon City ones, you know, there's a cop one, there's a one who's a female, there's a guy, and then you get to the third area, and it's just a bunch of generic repeated pale zombies and lickers. So there's just 2 enemy types now, over and over. There's like one part where Leon fights soldier guys, but they're just kind of generic soldier guys. And the environment itself is just a lot of empty hallways with not a lot going on. Just walking through these Mirror's Edge style, like minimalist hallways that don't really feel like they quite fit with anything. Yeah. Hold on just a sec. More puzzle to do. Just a second. There we go. There we go. Oh, a little more. Oh no. Puzzle's done. Okay. There we go. I don't know why, but my hand suddenly just forgot the controls for some reason. That was silly. Okay. Here, I need to get myself some water. Really quick. Something to drink. There we go. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try sitting over here. That should help with my aim. I don't think I'd have to sit on the couch necessarily now. But, yeah. So you just kind of end up with generic pale zombies, lickers. And then, finally, the game switches back to allowing you to play as Grace in the third act. But now it's been so long since playing as Leon. It's been so long since the last time you played as Grace. Been playing as Leon for so long. Then instead of having the flow of going back and forth like it did in the first part of the game, now it just feels jarring and like... Now it just feels jarring, basically. Now it actually feels like, whoa, I'm being pulled in this other gameplay direction. I can probably grab that when I get the double jump. But yeah, so instead of feeling like the natural back and forth like it was at the start of the game, going between Grace and Leon, now it actually just feels jarring again. Well, not again. Now it actually feels jarring, going from one gameplay style to the other. Because one, you haven't been there for so long. You haven't done it in so long. And two, is it doesn't have... The area doesn't have the design chops to really make it feel natural. So now you're suddenly stuck back in Grace's survival horror, doing her, like, blood pickup syringe thing with her crafting system. There we go. And it's like, actually just feels awkward now to go to that gameplay style when you've been playing as Leon for so long. And the thing is that in the hospital section at the start of the game, when you were having to, you know, switch back and forth between Grace and Leon, they had to consider how the setting, how the area functioned as a shared setting for the two of them. So they, you know, they kind of had to make it interesting, you know? They by necessity had to make it interesting for going through as both Leon and Grace. And so it was sort of like this, sort of like Metroid-like, where you would find doors like this, you don't have the item you need, and then essentially Leon was this, getting the missile you need and being able to essentially go through to the next spot that you needed to go to, or getting access to something. And it was really clever how there was like the warped cabinets, and with the warped cabinets, they were hiding Leon's gameplay elements right in front of you. But you just weren't able to access them until you finally got to Leon's part, and he was able to go through the area with his tools. And so it created this great back and forth where the areas felt like they had a lot more depth to them, and they were more thought out. Everything was more interesting because it was built for these two characters. The tone, the story, the setting. But in the second and third act of the game, you're only getting like half of the game's substance. You play way too long as just Leon, and then you get like a little complimentary section just to play as Grace in the third act, and it's completely missing that. I think I need the spider ball for this. It's completely missing that back and forth that it needed to make it feel fulfilling or whole. And so the second and third acts of the game, just Act 2 is less interesting than Act 3, and then Act 3 is just the bare minimum. The setting itself is just this really dull, minimalist white hallways. They're pretty much just straightforward. They're not particularly labyrinthian. There's no interesting enemies to fight in them. And also a lot of hallways with nothing in them. Just walking to the next area. No enemies, no... Hold on, I want to appreciate the lighting in this area. Just a second. Look at that. That right there. That is really nice. You can see the storm drain. Anyway. So, yeah, it's not particularly labyrinthian. There's no real puzzles to have to go through. No unique enemy types. Because the thing is that, you know, with the unique T-virus strain, you got unique enemy types at least based on the person's occupation. And then you get to the last area, that's all gone. So, yeah, you get to the third act. You get to the third act of the game, and pretty much the back and forth is gone. The narrative is gone, most of the tension is gone, the unique villain is gone. The survival aspects are gone, enemy types are gone, the game zone, unique zombie-making disease that it created right at the start is also gone. Just walking through minimalist white hallways, most of which don't actually have anything going on inside of them. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they went with that. But the first act of the game is so good. It has... And also, you get to the third act of the game, and it's completely lost the tone that it started with. Going through that opening area, the FBI thing, going to the hotel, seeing the police guy turn into a zombie. Him with the shotgun. It has this like, what's that genre? Slaughterhouse. It has a name to it. I'm blanking on it right now. Slasher. It has this specific tone to it, and I wouldn't necessarily call the progression of the game disjointed. It does have flow. They did make it flow enough. It's not like, and this is probably something I'll talk about later. It's not like Howl's Moving Castle, where Howl's Moving Castle is a very quality but disjointed movie. It feels like two movies stuck in one. It's not at that level but it does like transition pretty smoothly. The problem is that it smoothly regresses and loses all of the really interesting aspects that it started out with. And so, what starts off as a really interesting game with a fun tone, the sort of promise of interesting writing and an interesting story just kind of devolves into a really dull shooter. Yeah. Which was really disappointing. It has so much promise at the start, and then it kind of loses it all. it really loses it all by the time the second half of the... Well, it loses a lot of it by the time the second act rolls around, and then... Yeah, it loses a lot of it by the time the second act rolls around, and then it's pretty much entirely gone by the time the third act rolls around. Just the... Hold on. Ooh, careful. Don't get excited. There we go. Yeah, the game just kind of degenerates as it goes along, and it's really disappointing. This is the part where having the HUD on really messes with me, because I feel like it covers too much of my vision. As immersive as the whole helmet thing is trying to be, searching for the runes is not very helpful for me. Is that better? No, just to get rid of the whole thing. Yeah. It's just kind of messing with me. Display. HUD opacity. There we go, turn that down. Oof, okay. I feel like I can see now. Okay. All good. Oh. But yeah, it's a game with a lot of style and charm right at the start, and then it just kind of disappears very quickly as it goes along. And that was disappointing. I was really hoping it would be able to... I was really hoping it would maintain all of its, like, different aspects. There we go, pull all this in. There we go. Oh, careful. There we go. Ah, looks like I got one more rune left. I think if I remember correctly, it's on the bottom of something? Is that true? Oh no, it's right there. Phew, okay. In I go. I do find it funny how it unloads Samus, but I guess it can't really know. Yeah, there's no way for it to really know where you're going to be, which rune you've activated last. When I get the double jump, I want to try to land on that tree. Oh, yeah. In we go. Oi. Come on, Samus. You can do it. You can do it. A little more. There we go. Okay. Oop. Hui. There we go. All right. Second major boss fight. Here we go. Here. Have some lore entries. Recording to logbook. Flagra. This mutant plant is the source of toxic water in the ruins. Flagra's growth cycle has been radically accelerated. As a result, it requires near constant exposure to solar energy to remain active. This exposure has made Flagra's outer shell thick and durable. Its lower root system is unprotected and vulnerable, however. Exploit this flaw when possible. Concentrated weapon fire can daze it for short periods. It was nice of the Chozo to install those little bomb sockets right at the bottom of this plant. I do wonder if there's context for those. There we go. Ooh, hello there. Ah, darn. I am revving this control stick like a revolver. I just take my pointer finger and my middle finger, put the trigger in between my fingers, and just go up and down. Oh, come on. Too slow. No boost ball yet. Oh no. There we go. There we go. I will say this is one part that Metroid Prime 4, I've talked about it before, but Metroid Prime 4 has this way over on Metroid Prime Remastered, which is the flow of boss fights. And just kind of the way you interact with and fight them. This is, it's not bad, but it's very, you know, it's very what it is. It is what you can expect. out of the way, silly plants. I've got a mirror to flip. There we go. Now I can probably turn the helmet back on. Let's see. HUD opacity 100. Visibility on. There we go. Give that a try. All done? Seems like all done? No. Of course, gotta do all four. Oh dear. Yeah, just having to walk awkwardly, slowly. Quickly. There we go. I do love how that has the little bit of physics. If it lands near you, the ball will bounce. Okay, get out of here. Nah. I'm sorry, Samus. Oh, whoa. I didn't even know you could come down here. Okay. Time to get out. Oh, don't worry, Samus. We got you. Oh, boy. There you go. Pose, Samus. Now is the time. You have regained your dignity, and you have regained your shoulder pads. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. There we go. Alright. No, still low energy. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. Nah. Energy. A little heavier. There we go. We got you. Phew. Oh, right, you. You get attracted if I charge up my beam. blown up. I don't actually remember if that's the case. Maybe not right now. Okay. Well. Ah. The elevator room. Okay. Just a second. Let me make my way over here really quick. Ah. If I remember, this is actually pretty simple. Getting this.
Recording to logbook.
The future is a vague thing, ever-changing and always in doubt. Even if we Chozo could gain the ability to foresee the future, it would be a hollow gift, for we could never hope to control what has yet to occur. The fountain is an example of this. The day may come when its water dries up, and there is nothing we could do to stop such a tragedy. But we do know this: unlike the uncertain flow of water, the power of our will is strong and enduring. The will of the Chozo will never run dry. Good for you. This feels like I got a morph ball into that. Maybe I need the double jump to do that? It feels like something I need the double jump for. Oh, no, wait. Ah, oh, darn. I'm pretty sure I just gotta... Is it... Oh. I think I just gotta blow through whatever that is. Oh, man, missiles. Ah, perfect. Missile refill? Missiles? No missiles. Okay. Ooh, energy tank. I'll take that. Nice to see this outside area again. Now to go back. You guys feel free to appear again. Ah, darn. Ah, dreads. But yeah, I was just going back to way earlier before that boss fight. I was just disappointed by RE9. How it kind of the game has no real supporting structure underneath it. The most consistent thing about it is just like Elpis. What's gonna happen to Elpis? Release or, you know... They talk about Elpis a lot, but it's so vague that it doesn't really support anything. It's just the one thing binding all these very devolving threads together is just, you know, we got to get Elpis, Grace. It is your destiny. You know, the Victor Gideon, the guy who disappears halfway through the game in a motorcycle chase. Way more interesting villain than Wesker is, yet somehow we get stuck with Wesker and Grace doing nothing. Those two just go on a helicopter trip for a while. She doesn't even try to get away from him. Like, that could have been a whole segment on its own. Yeah. But anyway, we made good progress. We made it to Magmore Caverns. Magmore. Check it out. Get used to this place. We're gonna be seeing it a lot. Ooh. Sorry, Samus. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna be seeing this place a lot. Shooting those shriek bats a lot. Okay. I think this is where I'll end today. We'll go through that door next time. But for now, we're gonna end it here. Yes. Get a nice cinematic shot of this save room right here to end it with. Nice and centered. There we go. But yeah, just to finish up my thought. Just sad that Resident Evil 9 doesn't really have like a proper through line or a proper thing acting as its structure throughout the whole game. It just kind of falters as it goes along and runs out of that special juice that it starts with, the special sauce. I just wish it had more of a through line, you know, carrying it through the entire experience, but it really doesn't. But, you know what the nice thing is that every idea that I thought it was going to be, or could be, or any, you know, where it could go, since the game didn't do it, it's mine now, and I can do whatever I want with it. I can make it my own. So, you know, there's always an upside to when something doesn't live up to the potential that I think it had, which means that now all that potential I can use. For free. It's all mine now. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pause here for today. Good progress.